Hi, I'm going to continue with the bits and pieces for this CR100. I've just come across this capacitor. Well, not come across it, but I've just taken it out of the box to have a closer look. I ordered it's 3 8UF capacitors at 400 volts. It's not original because on here it says August 52. So it's obviously replaced then. And it's 8UF 400 volts peak working at 71 degrees. Now then, I couldn't get 8UFs, but I got 10UFs. Here's a 10UF. I get 10UFs. 400 volts, 105 degrees. A big difference. So I'm going to see if I'm going to put 3 of these inside here. So I was going to remove the top, see what's inside, remove it all, clean up the other side of these contacts and fix these capacitors to them. So the whole lot mounts back in as it should. As it's not original, I'm not sure what the original looks like, but looking at photographs it looks very similar. Now the problem I had was this is too small. Unit's fullest width. Now I do have a larger one of these in the shed, but it doesn't have a blade on it, so it doesn't fit in, unfortunately. So no other option is to use a small hacksaw blade. So I don't know how long this will take, so I can start it. I did have a run round to make a groove. It'll take some while, I think. I don't want to go too rough, make a big jagged edge of the thing. I'll pause it there and I'll continue with this, see what it's like. I'll show you later. Well, I've cut through it all the way around, bit by bit. Inside there is a black, it could be a rubber solution, I'm not sure what's inside one of these. It didn't fall off. That it's quite, it's black. I don't think it's wax, but it's certainly soft. I didn't want to hacksaw all the way through it, so let's get the knife in. Let's see what's in here. Never opened one of these before. Not this age. Replaced a few, but normally they just go in the bin. Well, I'll slowly put the knife in here and move it around. I think I'm cutting the wires there. It is coming off slowly. Just prise it in. There it goes. It's like tar. Smells like tar as well. So these are full of tar. It's going to be rather messy to clean up. Yes. Right, well, as you can see, the capacitor is full of wax. I should say tar. It's full of tar, black tar. It smells like tar and it's very sticky. I also need to probably sacrifice the blade and the scalpel here. Put a new blade in. So the only way I can think of getting this out is to heat it up, but I have to do that outside. So that's for another day when it's not raining. I shall try and melt it out and see what happens. In the meantime, I was rebuilding the IF cans, and some of them have the wires attached now. These are for the top caps, so the next valves and the next stages. Not all of them had them. There's 2 here. The BFO, which I haven't done yet, that has one. and this is IFT4. We'll need one as well. Now the cable I used was this stuff. I got a good length of it. It's Coax, looks very thin. It's called RG174. It's thinner than the original, but it's got a good spec. It's quite flexible, and it should work. It's 50 ohms and it should work up to, well, it says it works up to UHF. Fairly low loss at the low frequencies we're using in the radio. That's what I'll do next. So I'll put the piece off. Probably longer than I need, but I don't want to be caught short, as I say. And I shall stick this on here. I use heat shrink as well. So I shall splice a little bit off here, some light. Just nibble it round. The wire strippers I've got are probably a bit too fierce for this thin cable, so be careful. You can just nip it round here. You should be able to pull it off the fingernail. There it is. And then just make a small. Get that out of there. Just to make a little gap through. It's good these little tweezers you can get in there. And pull the cable out. I'm doing this without the magnifying glass in the way. And glass. Here it comes. So I'll just remove that side. That's the centre core of this. I can nicely twist up. Hopefully it should go on like that. Span those two contacts. Right. Gently remove some of this. At the end, not to cut the inner core. I think it's soft enough to pull it off with a fingernail. Copper inside. And I should be able to solder that. Tin on it. And the braid. Don't need to do the whole lot, but gives it some rigidity. From the magnifying glass, a lot easier. Right. I'm going to put some heat shrink on there as well. So, one strand up there. A small piece on the front. A smaller. I just see a little bit of reinforcement here. I'm sure that's going to shrink down to that small diameter. Make it well. Small black piece on that side. slide on that end. It's just to give it some reinforcement as it goes through the can at the top. It's not really sharp edges, but it's not worth taking the risk. Give it some rigidity. Okay. I'll use that to support this. Easy. Reach there. Okay, that's on. This is the can. Holes on that end, so I want to go that way. Right, this needs to go in the right position. That's it. And next is to get that cable through the little hole. Always looks. There it goes. And then to get this in, I don't want to tip this up because the piece of packing at the end will move. So I'll try and keep it vertical. Let's go in quite. See the top of the heat shrink. Oops. Right, that's in. Holes are lined up. Hopefully I'll find 2 screws I had here. There's one. Screwdriver when you want one. There you go. Just put these screws back in, the ones that came out. It's a bit awkward to get it lined up. Got it in. That's it. Start one. And this is the one. These 2 screws are just in on the same side. And that is back in. Okay. I did have these slack at the lift them up at the bottom. And that is it. I'm going to put another piece of heat shrink on there. I'm also going to put another piece of heat shrink on there. Anyway, what I have done is reinforce it with a second piece of heat shrink on these ones, which I shall do on here. Except the heat shrink has vanished to thin air. You get the idea. So that's all the cans done. The only one left is this one here for the BFO. So that this didn't have a packing piece. The only one that when I opened it didn't have one in it. So there's one missing. So I'm gonna have to make one up and put it together. Has one coax on the top went to the valve. It also had a couple of coaxes connected to these two, so they'll have to be added on. I need to work out the length, that's why I haven't done this one yet, but that'll be the next one I'll do fairly soon. So that's it for now. So far so good. I've done the IF cans, come up quite nicely and nicely colour coded. And the capacitor, the main HT, which needs some work done to it yet. So that's it so far, slowly progressing. Hopefully it won't be long before I get to a position where I can start rebuilding the radio. Well, thank you for watching, and if you like, then click like or subscribe, and I'll see you next time.